Her Majesty's Prison, which now houses the Museum of Belize, began construction in 1855 and was completed in 1857. Each arc visible inside the building was once cell blocks is now used as gallery space. The building closed down in 1998 due to overcrowding, having at least 6 prisoners in a cell, which was primarily made for one. Today, the Museum of Belize is celebrating its 14th anniversary. Love News visited and spoke to the director of the museum, Sherilyn Jones, who told us about their celebrations.
Today we have an open day. We're inviting a lot of the school children from Belize City primary schools to come in. There's activities, interactive activities for them. We are also working on making the space more user friendly. So this year we incorporated some hands-on activity and art projects. I don't know if you saw the chalk art outside when you entered. We're asking the kids to give us their impression of the museum and then using the chalk to express that. Whenever a school visits, first of all, school visits are always free. Whenever they book a tour, someone is here, one of our research officers, someone from the MOB team is here to tour them, to take them through. The museum is designed to be self-guided, but for students, we definitely have someone that would take them through the museum to explain things that may not necessarily be as clear from the display panels.
Jones also spoke about the importance of having children visiting the museum. She spoke of the oldest artifact in the building.
The museum is but a vehicle of education and knowledge. And so once the students or kids come in, they then take that knowledge away. And we're hoping that from the exhibitions that we present, that they get excited about culture, about our history. There's rich culture. Belize is full of rich culture. And it's a shame that majority of Belizeans don't really appreciate or don't come to the museum. And so that was one of the reasons Niche undertook opening on Saturdays, and it's free for Belizeans on Saturdays to come in, experience the past, experience what was, and looking at where we are today. The oldest artifact is it's actually from the Maya era. It's upstairs. It's a ceramic bowl from Quayo.
One of the lesser known programs at the museum is its Adapt an Artifact program. Carla Rosado, Marketing and Membership Officer, who is in charge of the program, explained how it works.
It's basically a program where we incentivize awareness in the community of what it takes to preserve and manage and store the artifacts, because this is a very scientific process. It's very important to handle the objects correctly, to store them in adequate conditions, and also to do maintenance work on them, to preserve them in their original state as long as possible. They are part of our history of Belize. They're part of our patronage. They have a lot of the clues that we don't have as to the history of Belize, the people who inhabited Belize before we were here. So it's very important to preserve it as a historical item in our national collection.
Rosado also told us about the most valuable artifact that the museum possesses.
Currently, we have about 200 pieces on loan to the Science Museum of Minnesota in the United States. These objects are traveling from museum to museum, and the adopters ideally would get an update of where their object is, which museum it's being featured in, and when it's coming back to Belize, so that they can actually come and see the object physically. The most valuable piece from our collection would be the Buena Vista vase that was found at the Buena Vista site. That piece is actually on tour right now in the United States. That is in a vitrine that's locked and has alarm on it, and very well guarded, because it's a very precious piece, particularly because the artwork on it is very intricate, and it's evident that it took a lot of time to paint this piece.
Reporting for Love News, I am Judy Turton.